again, Bill Pfeiffer speaking from Marysville. Good to be with you. Do press the subscribe or like button if indeed you do like. Last time we spoke of prayer because it's the essential act in the spiritual life. Without prayer, it's like not being able to breathe or not breathing. If you have a spiritual life, prayer is such an essential part of it. And there's times when I get on these podcasts that I hope that I'm not just wasting my time. Words, words, words. You know, we live in a culture now with YouTube and all of the words that keep coming down the line and images that we become numb. You know, we become inured to them. They don't really affect or infect our lives anymore. And all of this becomes a waste of time. And your time is too busy, and so is mine to have that happen. One of the critical things in all of this is to have the stuff that we speak about, the words we use, go from your head to your heart. It's not a big trip. It's about 12 inches, but it's one of the most difficult journeys you'll ever make, and it's one that not a lot of people do indeed make. In your head, you can control things. You can control your ideas. You control and you can object to anything and everything quickly because of your preconditioning and so on. But once it gets down into your heart, now you have to risk for it. And there's a big difference. And you want to make sure that the things we talk about, you listen to this and any other podcast that has essential and good stuff. You have to listen with your heart rather than not just with your ears or with your head. And that really is an important thing. We talked yesterday again about prayer, and I know some people were saying, when am I going to find time to do this? I'm so busy, I'm this, I'm that, and whatever. And I mentioned all of the things that Cynthia and I do and did to make sure that we pray. I mentioned that, she used to tell me, we have 6 kids, that she would say, before we pray, cut the grass, go upstairs and pray for a while. I would do the same thing with her. And that is really, they were important things. When I was teaching, I would get up at 5:15. By 6 o'clock, I would have done the morning ablutions and eaten my breakfast. From 6 to 6:15. We would say a rosary. So we've been saying the rosary together for 10, 15 years. It's been a long time. And why? Because we made the time. It was an important thing, and we made the time to make it happen in our lives, because without it, again, we wouldn't be breathing, and that's not a good thing. Sometimes after I left school, I would stop in church for a few minutes, or I would come early to pick up our granddaughters at grade school, or if I had to go somewhere, I would try to make sure I went there 10 or 15 minutes early so I could sit in the car and pray. And so you have to learn how to rob time, to be a time thief, to creatively use your schedule in a way that allows and makes for time for this essential thing to take place in your life. The things that are really important, we always make time for them, no matter what it is. I had a prof in the seminary who would constantly say to us, if you're too busy to pray, you're too damn busy. That was really simply and curtly put forth, but it's right. If you're too busy to pray, you're too damn busy. And he would spend an hour a day. You could see him in the chapel 1 hour a day, in the afternoon. Don't know what other praying he did, but he would spend an hour a day in the chapel, and you would see him there, and that was a tremendous example for us who were preparing to be free. So, you need to be a time thief. You need to be a robber of time. You need time thievery in your life, and you can be creative and make the things happen that have to happen, in your life. That's really an important thing. And here I am. I'm a married Catholic priest. I have 6 children. I am priest. I am father. I'm husband. And for 46 years, I have been doing this. We had a retreat center. We did a lot of counseling. We've done all kinds of things in the course of the last, taking care of pregnant girls and battered wives. And I can attest to the fact that you can be married and be a priest. Any one of those three vocations, father, priest, or a husband, help me with the other two vocations. And, whether or not you can do this, the question's over. I've done it, and if it's done, then it can be done. And it's a part of the reality of our lives as well. Many of the married priests I know are prophets to the institution. They're saying, look, move forward, move forward. There's things that are being done that don't have to be done. We can avoid doing other things by making these other things in our lives happen. So, it's an essential thing to be able to pray and to make time for it by being creative, with our schedules to be able to pray. In our last newsletter, I mentioned there are 7,000 languages spoken in the world, and God can speak all of them fluently. But his first language is still silence. It's contemplative prayer. It's the ability to be before God with your mind in your heart. Sit or stand before God with your mind in your heart, and allow that to be your presence. That means everything that you do throughout the rest of the day, all of your actions and so on, can be done as prayerfully as those moments when you are indeed praying. I saw also Nikos Kazantzakis said in prayer, when I pronounce a word, for instance, Lord, this word shatters my heart. I am terror-stricken and do not know if I shall be able to make the leap to the following words, have pity on me. Lord, have pity on me, the Jesus prayer. So, it's good to be with you. And I saw too on the 25th of November, Mary's message at Medjugorje was, Dear children, the Most High has sent me to teach you to prayer. To teach you to pray. Prayer opens hearts and gives hope, and faith is born and strengthened. Little children, with love I am calling you. Return to God because God is love and your hope. So she's come to teach us to pray, because without prayer, you die. That's really the case. And we think of all kinds of reasons to avoid it, but it can't be done. So happiness tomorrow does depend on doing the truth today. And the part of that is to let things go from your mind to your heart, where you can risk for it, and to recognize the fact that you need to, no matter how busy you are, there's always some time that you can rob, maybe not every day and not every way, to be able to spend alone with God, allowing him to have the ability to transform your heart so that you can transform other hearts. Transform people, transform people. Good to be with you again. Happiness tomorrow does depend on doing this essential truth in our lives. And I don't want to just, multiply words. There's too many words, people speaking words these days, and that's a waste of time unless somehow those words get translated into action. That's why listening to these podcasts, today and forever in the future, if you want to listen with your heart, that means they can have a transformative work. They can do a transformative work in you. The words have wings on them, and they can go directly to your heart and make that transformation possible. Again, good to be with you. Keep me in your thoughts and prayers, and know that you'll always be in mine. God bless.